uniform. We're down at 2 Mississippi museums today for the Veterans Day celebration. And we welcome to the program now Shane Keil, the Deputy Director of the Museum Division of the Mississippi Department of Archives and History. Shane, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you, sir. Great to be here. Thank you for having me, sir.
Well, we always brag about these fantastic facilities, 2 Mississippi museums, the Mississippi Museum of History, of course, and then the Civil Rights Museum. They are world-class without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
And we're seeing lots of, just right in our midst here, lots of students that are taking tours of the museum. It's good to see because there's so much to see. There's so much information,
Yes.
and what a chronicle it is of the rich history of the state of Mississippi, and it's just good to have that preserved and curated here. Tell us exactly what you do in your role.
So I'll be honest, I have one of the best jobs here with the Department of Archives and History. I get to serve as the Deputy Director here for the Museum Division, and that's a big way to say that I get to be involved in a lot of the great projects and programming here, both at the 2 Mississippi museums and our sites across the great state of Mississippi. So. And in particular, I get to oversee a lot of our large capital and site improvement projects. So we currently have 9 different sites across the state, and a number of those sites have different improvements, large projects that are underway to improve accessibility and interpretation, and generally improve what we can offer and educate to Mississippians about their history. So
yeah. Any new projects on the boards, new exhibits? Do you find like new history perhaps? Do you run across that you didn't know about before when the museums were built? And I know you're continuously update and improve. Do you just happen upon stuff randomly? How does that work?
We do, and sometimes it's things that we've known about, and we just haven't quite had the opportunity or the resources yet to go and sort of flesh those stories out. I think one large project of particular note, especially I think important to talk about on a day like today, Veterans Day, when we remember the service of Mississippians who've answered the call. Here at the 2 Mississippi museums, obviously we tell the story of Mississippi history, and we do much of that through stories of our veterans and the objects that they've donated to the museums, so people can come here and learn about the military history of Mississippi and the service of Mississippians and all the different branches, especially upstairs in the History Museum and our Sense of Duty Gallery. And much of that history goes back even before the Civil War, War of 1812, militia service, obviously Civil War history here in Mississippi, and then through the present-day conflicts. But of particular note, the department is currently in the early stages of a project in the Vicksburg area, and this is to develop and construct a new interpretive center there that will focus on the Vicksburg campaign. Mm-hmm. And much of what is known and written about Vicksburg in the historiography kind of always revolves around its importance as this last bastion on the Mississippi River, the Gibraltar of the West, this heavily fortified city that once it falls to U.S. Grant's Union forces, the river is then open again for commerce, and it's a great victory for the North. But Vicksburg also has a much larger importance in the Civil War, and much of that has to do with its use after the siege in late 1863 through the end of the war, so almost additional 2 years as a base and fortification there for Union forces. But also importantly, it served as a center for recruitment for black Mississippians to come into the Union Army. One of the things that this new center will focus on is this larger Vicksburg campaign and the operations in and around Vicksburg, but also bringing to light those stories of the United States colored troops and African Americans that were recruited, nearly 18,000 that served in the Union Army and helped advance the cause of their fighting for their own freedom, advancing the cause of liberty for others. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Like I said, such rich history, and it's so good that it is preserved in these museums and available for everyone to take in and learn so much. So I know you have constant tours of school children come through. I mean, throughout the year, right?
We do. We're open year-round, and a good portion of our visitation, many thousands of school children from around Mississippi can come here, and we have numerous ways to assist them in getting buses and tours here. So we have a great education department, great frontline staff and tour staff here at the 2 museums. And as you can see from some of the noise in the background and the students around us, we've had hundreds of students here today, this morning, who are coming from around the state to come and learn about Mississippi's history. So,
and of course, the museums are well known throughout the nation. In particular, I would say the Civil Rights Museum, which is not very old, as a matter of fact. So we have people coming from all over the country as well.
Yes, sir. Both the Civil Rights Museum and the History Museum opened here at the same time in December 2017. So we're rapidly approaching here on our 6th anniversary. And here we have really the only state funded and created civil rights museum in the country that focuses on this incredibly powerful story of the civil rights movement, specifically in Mississippi. And so visitors can come here, they come and do both museums as part of their visit, learn about civil rights history, and also learn about the history of Mississippi, going back to the first peoples, 13,000 years of history. So really a powerful experience and a lot to see here at the two museums. So.
Very cool. Appreciate you coming on, Shane. Thanks a lot. Sir. And great work here at the two museum.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. We're coming right back with more. It's time for Fox News and SuperTalk News because it's top of the hour.